How to fight a Hydra, how to face your fears, pursue your ambitions, and be the hero you were destined to be. This is a book that I came up as a recommendation on Audible, and it was pretty short, so I thought I'd check it out, and I went ahead and checked it out. It just came out relatively recently, and it was a pretty good book. I'd recommend it. It's about 100 pages long, and it's only like this big, so it's a pretty small book. I listened to it on Audible, and it was under an hour and a half. So definitely pretty good. It has a nice storyline to it, so it kind of goes through that, and it's an interesting way of looking at things as opposed to a traditional a book about facing your fears and all that type of stuff and entrepreneurship. That is more textbook. This is more of a story, so it was interesting if you're into that sort of thing. So the Hydra that it talks about in the book would be if you're an entrepreneur or you're a creator and you're creating something and you don't really know what you're doing, it is how to go ahead and do that. So you know a Hydra, if you cut off one head, two more takes its place. So this is talking about how to go ahead and tackle each individual problem at a time and not going for the whole thing, and talks about how, you know, you see a lot of people at the end of their journey and you don't see along the way how there's all these struggles, and you know, you get beaten down, you get depressed, and like it's difficult along the way, but all you see is the end. They went ahead and they killed the dragon, they created this huge business. You don't see all the hardship that went into that, so it does a good job of kind of describing that. I don't know, I thought it was interesting. So the story in this book is this scribe gets an idea that he wants to go and fight a Hydra and be, you know, like a hero, which is kind of the same idea as like when someone goes ahead and starts a business and has no idea what they're doing. So you're gonna have your friends and family say like, yeah, I don't think that's a great idea. You kind of like, you go back to school, or you should do whatever you're gonna do. But he goes ahead and does it anyways because he believes that he can do it. So he goes off and he learns and he practices on his journey there, and then he goes ahead and finds the cave where the Hydra is, and doesn't really know how to fight it and gets beaten down, but eventually learns how to fight it and you know, cut off one head, and then you burn it with the torch so that it doesn't grow back. So yeah, I thought it was an interesting way of looking at your problems. You just go ahead and tackle each problem at a time instead of looking for the whole thing. It's going to be really hard to focus to get that one problem and to kill that one head, but once you do, you just move on to the next head. It's not like you're going for the whole thing at once, because the Hydra, you cannot penetrate its skin. You have to like cut off each head, so you can't just take a shortcut and tackle the whole problem. You have to go ahead and focus on each one, and then know that the end goal will be the Hydra. So if he ends up doing that, and some other things happen, and then he goes home and he's a hero, and then he has to figure out how to like retire. It's kind of like, it's a really short story, but it goes ahead and talks about a lot of things that are very relatable. If you're an entrepreneur or, you know, creative person starting a YouTube channel, it can really relate to pretty much anything. So a few things I took away from this book. You are going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has the same fears and doubts when they get started. You're just gonna have to learn from them and continue to move on. You can't let those hold you back. You need to embrace them. Say like, I learned the hard way that you need to do this, but now I'm gonna be better for it, and just keep moving on. So the next one would be, you can't succeed if you never try, and fortune smiles on those who act. So that's kind of something that I definitely agree with. I think that you can make your own, like somebody says they're lucky or not lucky. Well, you need to put yourself in a position to be lucky, because if you never are there, how are you gonna win? Like, if you could say you're unlucky, but if you never tried, then you're unlucky because you never tried. So just putting yourself in a position to succeed, positioning yourself as best you can in order to, you know, make that. So if you never take a shot, you're never gonna score. That's pretty much that one. So the next one would be knowing that everything you want to accomplish in life will require you to do something that you don't know. It'll require you to have all these doubts and fears and to learn a bunch of new things. But in order to reach your goal. But knowing that that is the case will help you get there. If you know that it's going to be hard, and when it is hard, you're like, well, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So just knowing that would help you go ahead to reach your goal. So another one would be, the stories are just the highlights. You see people who are successful and you see them at the top. You do not see the years and endless hours of practice that it takes to get there. Like, you see this guitar player and you see like, wow, he's just really good. He's at the top of his game. He's amazing. You don't see the tens of thousands of hours that he has spent practicing that and failing and doing a terrible job until he can master that and move up. Or if you see someone who's starting a successful business, you didn't see the years and years that they spent in their garage borrowing money, sleeping on couches in order to get there. So you just need to know that when it is hard, when you are at that stage, everybody was at that stage at one point. Nobody starts at the top. So yeah, that's just a good point that I got from it. So another one he talks about is going ahead and practicing, sharpening your abilities, learning more, taking care of your health. These are all good uses of your time, even if they're not directly applicable to your end goal. Being a more knowledgeable, healthy person will help you reach that goal in the long run. So I definitely recommend this book. It's a really easy read. You can probably read it in one sitting. I'll link the book if you guys are interested in it. So go ahead and smash that like button. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good day.